Much. And good morning, my beautiful America, my shining city on a hill. I'm Eden Gordon Hill. Welcome back to the All American Book Club. You guys, we are bringing back to the show Great American Family, Great American Pure Flix. I know you guys loved season one of County Rescue. Well, this morning we're bringing two great, talented actors who are talking about season two and the season two premiere of County Rescue. Please help me welcome to the show Julia Grace Reilly and Riley Hough. I'm so glad to meet you guys. Thanks so much for being here.
Hey, thank you for having
Oh,
us. We appreciate it.
yeah, thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I recognize you guys from so many different aspects, but I want to talk first about your career. And Riley, I want to start with you. How did Great American and how did this come to you? How did you, and the whole Great American family piece is all about God, country, and family. So this show is all about God, country, and family. So what really inspired you to come and do this with Great American?
Well, funny enough, I read for Griffin initially, and Julia and I actually go back as friends. We were taping each other's auditions for this show, and at a point during her callback, they heard me reading Tim's lines from across, and they let me read for Tim after that. And I think, the right role landed in the right laps because I feel like Tim represents so many of my moral and my personal beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
and to be able to play a character like that, especially for it being my first series regular.
Mm-hmm.
Having a character that embodies that so much means the world to me. And I think, it's awesome getting to play someone who prioritizes helping those around him
Mm-hmm.
over helping himself so much. So it's nice to play someone so selfless.
No, absolutely. Julia, I'll pivot to you. Uh, Watching County Rescue, my husband is a first responder of the United States Army, retired now, but he was a combat MP. So watching both of you, he actually sat there and watched County Rescue the whole season with me. Usually he gets up, loves, sappy, I'll see you later, enjoy. But he really enjoyed County Rescue and what you guys are showing on the screen, the respect of first responders and what it's like to be an EMT. That's so important, that selfless service, like you're talking about, Riley. But what, Julia, for you, what really impacted you in this role? Because I see a lot of faith and transformation of faith coming out in you.
Wow. Yeah. Well, first of all, please thank him for his service. That's so cool. And we just have the utmost respect and admiration for our first responders. They're truly amazing. And we've been so blessed to work with real first responders on this show.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, in terms of faith, that is definitely a very big element in Danny's life. That's also in my own personal life. And what's so cool is doing a show that has faith at its core. Um, we're called to be, present in our faith day to day, minute to minute, second to second. And it's a reminder on set that I need to carry that in my personal life as well. It's a really cool contrast to be working on a show where your job is to be in your faith.
Mhm.
And that's also how, we're called to live our lives as well. And it's really beautiful and it really I really feel God's hand on this show, on this project, on the people. And it's really such a gift.
Mm. Well, I'll tell you guys both, Riley, to you, we had Brett and Kristen on for the first season, and oh, they were a hoot. Absolutely.
TV mom and dad. Yeah, yeah,
TV mom and dad. So let's talk, having seen Brett's career and all the different places that he is just bringing, faith back to life. What's it been like for you as a male actor working with him? The inspiration, what have you learned from him? With this whole new transition piece for you.
Well, I mean, I think coming into this role, I was the most green out of anybody. I had done the least work before booking this. And, it's a huge responsibility to have that blessing of like a position. And, having someone like Brett who not only is savvy on the business side on how to prep as a character actor and like how to just kind of, you know, do my job on set. On top of that, he also teaches me not to take life too seriously and to kind of just soak in the moment and be present with everything with everybody else because you really only get to do this your first time once, and
Yeah.
if you blink you'll miss it. And I think season one, I'll be quite honest, I was very in my head, and like very like feeling
Yeah.
like, why am I here? And I think season two, having learned from him in season one, and then even still in season two, I got to just kind of allow myself to enjoy the fact that I get to see him and Kristin and Percy and Angel and Stacey and Julia and Keller and Tim every day. And it's, and Kristin, and it's just, it's beautiful, I think having someone so strong and so grounded in their morals and who also just doesn't put this on too much of a pedestal, the job, the acting side of it,
Yeah.
I couldn't have asked for a better mentor and
Yeah.
friend and brother from Brett.
Oh, absolutely. And same thing to you, Julia. How's it been with, working with Kristen and just being in that space of, faith? Obviously, you just talked about your faith, but just her, being the mom, right? How has that been for you?
Oh, I have so much love for both Kristen and Brett. I truly view them as family and such
Uh,
dear friends. And I go to them. It's funny. I Kristen and I joke and like the amount of conversations we've had outside of work where we look at each other and we're like, we that those were our lines from the show. It's
yeah.
just like our imitating life kind of thing with Kristen. I mean, I just adore her. I mean, we love to send like audio messages and text like all the time, whether it's about something silly or about me going to her for advice or wisdom.
Yeah.
And Brett and Kristen are both so they love the Lord, they have beautiful families, they balance this career, and they're just wonderful people, and I'm so grateful to know them and work with them and learn from them. I could never say enough good things about them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. One thing I've found with bringing over the talent from Great American Pure Flix is each and every person that we have had on this show, including Bill Abbott was the CEO. We have just had such a great rapport. My audience loves the app. They love watching Great American. They love watching their show, County Rescue and all the other movies and everything. And I have heard that from my audience. And I was curious what kind of interactions for you both, whoever wants to go first, but what kind of interactions have you received from the audience? Because I know the audience speaks so heavily into the content of Great American and what they're wanting to put out. What has inspired you really from the audience?
I've gotten messages from some fans who are first responders or have first responders in their life, and having, people who say that we're doing a good job at accurately representing them means the world. I also think, the one thing I get from a lot of my friends and even just people in my circle who watch the show tell me that it's very authentic and that,
Yeah,
there's obvious themes of, Christianity and, faith within the show, but also with that coming first, also the people come first. And
right.
those people are very authentic and very fleshed out. And as an actor, you know, reading those scripts, both by Lauren and by Brian, having that opportunity to like speak those words means the world.
Mm. What about for you, Julia?
Oh, I mean, it's such a treat to receive nice comments or
Mm.
receive feedback on the show that people like it and they resonate with it. And I mean, that's why we're making this, right? And I think it's so cool that we are making a show that
Yeah,
has the core values of faith and family and country. I think people want stories of hope. They want to feel inspired. They want to feel good. And so it's really, really so special to be a part of that kind of content. Yeah, it's
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, there is a greater, so the show's in Washington, D.C., but a lot of the audience knows that my husband and I reside here in Eastern North Carolina, which is by Fort Bragg, Camp Lejeune, Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, the Coast Guard. And what we have seen is this desire for patriotism and seeing patriotism come alive again. And so you guys are able to exhibit that on this show through being those first responders, those EMTs. And like you said, Riley, having those reach out to you saying how you have impacted them, you guys are inspiring another generation. And, it is a drama, but you have no idea the impact you could be making on our future first responders. So I just want to encourage you guys with that because that whole God, country, family piece is so powerful and so prevalent in the public square today. Also, I wanted to ask you more with the on-screen relationship between the two of you. We have to do a little bit of romance here at the All American Book Club. So, talk to me if you can. Can you give any sneak insider scoop about what could happen between the two of you this season?
Yeah, well, we
Uh,
can't say too much. But we've seen season one. There is a bit of a love triangle with Danny, Tim, and Griffin, and then, I think the drama and the feelings they don't just vanish going into season
yeah,
two. So, yeah, we'll definitely get to explore more about with Danny and Tim's relationship. We can't say too much. What do you want to add on,
yeah.
Riley?
I'll just say personally as an actor, I'm very lucky to have not only like one of my best friends like play this role that I have to do some of this like heavier, more intimate kind of stuff with on screen, but also just having her as an actor, I just have to look at her and the rest kind of falls into place. So, it
Yeah.
really is a gift to be able to share the screen with one of my good friends.
Oh,
Uh,
that's sweet. I feel the same. And we were also talking last night about regardless of what happens with Danny and Tim, we'll have to wait and see. There's something so beautiful about their relationship and their friendship. And at the end of the day, they really want the best for one another and they want to see each other
Yeah,
succeed.
oh,
Really, really.
absolutely.
absolutely.
And I
Yeah.
think like all relationships you see on screen that are the strongest ones, that is always like the core foundation for like those relationships like thriving.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you guys this. We jumped right into Great American, we jumped right into County Rescue, but I'd love to hear more about you both and how you got on this journey. I looked you both up, obviously. I did my homework. So, am I correct to say that you both came from Atlanta or you were originally from Atlanta? Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm born and raised Georgia Peach, but yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I moved from Durham, North Carolina a few years ago.
okay, okay. So not too far from here. But what I really wanted to get was for the young audience who are on Capitol Hill who tune into this, who are in your age group, really what it kind of inspired you on this journey because you guys know School of Hard Knocks, you have to get back, you fall down, you get back up, you fall down, you get back up. And it's one of faith, it's one of perseverance, resilience, all of those things, those character traits. But really, what really led you into this amazing career path? Was it God just saying, this is you right now for such a time as this? How did it really come about for you? Riley, I'll go first with you.
For me, it was something of uh, I'm on the spectrum, and this actually helped me like kind of like navigate being on the spectrum, being an actor, along with social therapy, multiple forms of that. And I think that in a lot of my times of struggle and in a lot of my lowest lows and even some of my highest highs, this has always been the thing that has anchored me and pulled me forward. And I've seen that it's helped me directly help others in my life, help others that I don't even know
Mm.
are out there. And I think, if I can do that through this medium, then I have not only is it something I can do that fulfills me, but it's a responsibility.
Mm.
So, you
Well
know,
put.
I'm just very grateful to be here.
Absolutely. And what about you, Julia?
Beautiful, Riley.
It
Yeah,
was.
I grew up doing theater and then eventually started to dabble in film and TV when the industry started to grow a lot in Atlanta. And I was not like the kid that like booked jobs right away, and so it was just a constant reminder to myself and from my parents of like it's God's timing, it's God's timing. But I never had a moment where I was like, I want to quit. I always felt like called to be in this field and in this career path. And it really goes to show like that the timing is everything and the projects he wants you to be on, you will be on. And I feel so at peace with where he's put me right now and working with this network and these people and on this show. And I just want to inspire people in their journey to trust in his timing and that your path isn't going to look like anyone else's path around you. And that's
Mhm.
okay. And that's special and that's so unique. And just to find joy and peace on the journey and spend time with the people you love and the things you love outside of this career or whatever career you're pursuing because life is so much more than work. Life is so beautiful and there's so many wonderful people to share it with as well.
Well put.
Beautifully put.
Yeah. I can tell you guys are so thick as thieves. I mean, you guys just naturally, there's such a natural beauty about the two of you and your friendship. You
It's
know,
so funny because we have these like goodbyes in season two on our last night of filming, and it's all like very heartfelt. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna miss you, like having these nice words. And then I just go to her and I'm like, yeah, I'll see you in a week.
We're like,
You
no, we gave each
know,
other a hug. We all gave it was a
we
big
did, yeah,
hug
yeah,
cry fest.
uh,
yeah.
no, and no, it's really special having those kindred spirits, having those people in your life who are going to run this race with you. It's just so powerful. On a final note, I just got the final closing zip line saying, all right, let's rock and roll. What are your favorite verses, or what are a quote of inspiration you'd like to share with the audience as we close?
One of mine is Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight.
Amen, sister. Amen. What about you, Riley?
Actually, my grandfather was a reverend. He had
Mhm.
passed actually right before I booked this job. And so, something he used to tell me as a kid, sorry, I'm like on the spot, I'm having trouble remembering, but it was something to the effect of, something I tell the kid. I used to teach kids all the time, and I would tell them, you're going to do good today, and you'll do good by others tomorrow. Don't overthink it too much. Everything will be fine. And I think hearing that from someone who embodied those qualities, for his whole life and was devoted to that his whole life, I'd like to think that some of that rubbed off on Tim.
Well, you two are two amazing, beautiful souls, and I'm so grateful that you guys were able to join us here at the All American Book Club. I look forward to sharing County Rescue far and wide, and you guys keep making that impact for such a time as this. Many blessings to you.
Blessings to you too.
Blessings to you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And for all of those who are tuning in, stay tuned for our next segment. We'll be right back. Carly, thank you.